So, what can you possibly do for an encore?
What you mean?
What could you? You had Defensive Rookie of the Year. What could you do? What can you do better than that?
Um, I'm just more team oriented. This year I'm taking a whole different approach. Not saying I wasn't last year, but I just know we got something special right now. I could just tell how we are in meetings. How our bond is. So, my main focus is just being a better teammate. And doing whatever I can so that we can win the Super Bowl.
What specifically what are you working on in the offseason to try to continue to get better?
Just improving my ball skills, working on more lean and locate, press footwork. I really work on every single thing. I just got days where I sit up here and just do something like hundreds of times, just one thing. Like, all right, this day I might just work on my press footwork like 500 times, 500 reps. Like, I just do stuff like that because my coach told me if you could do something the right way 10,000 times, then that's how you master it. So, I try not to just be all over the place and just, have a purpose when I'm training.
Sauce, have you been surprised at all by some of the you've done nothing wrong, some of the hate that comes your way a little bit on social media, whether it's with cornerback rankings or this or that or this award, that award?
I ain't gonna lie, for me, like, I just gotta understand, some people that's just what they do, Some people hate, it's weird to me, you know what I mean? Because I know how we is in our corner room, so when we watching different corners, we just trying to find ways to get better off their film. We not knocking anybody. We see they got a bad rep on film, or if somebody get more credit that they quote-unquote shouldn't. I mean, me personally, I just wasn't raised like that, I never hate on the next man, for me, but, I can't control what other people do.
How do you deal with some of the haters? Because you're like you're not that type of guy usually. So just how do you deal with the hate that comes your way, whether it be a social media?
I be calm for the most part. Y'all out here, y'all see me, I'm always positive, you know what I mean? I do what I do, I come out here and do what I do every day, and that's the main thing, it's different when you got like your peers and like cornerbacks throughout the league, and they doing it. Like, that's different than just regular fans just doing it, different teams. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's not gonna stop me from what I want to achieve.
Do you use that as motivation? Like, is a little bit of that kind of you accomplished so much, but still it wasn't enough, and now you want to?
I don't use that as motivation like other people hating on me. I got a lot of other stuff that motivates me. You know what I mean? So that's something small right there.
What stuff motivates you?
Where I come from, my mom, my family, getting a Super Bowl, in my second year. Detroit. The list goes on. But that's one of the very few. That's something minor right there.
Sauce, how would you describe how your relationship with DJ has grown since you guys didn't really know each other when you both first got here?
It's grown pretty fast. I just remember me. I didn't really used to talk too much. I don't think DJ used to talk too much either when he got here. That's like my dog. That's my brother. It was just great to just be able to establish that relationship with not only just him, but the rest of the guys, in the room. Like Michael Carter, I feel like he don't get that much credit. When I be sitting in the meeting room and I be hearing Coach T.O. just talk to Mike about like what he got to do, and then Mike just he's so intelligent and just understanding like how he had to have a run fit problem, but he got to have coverage, like all of that stuff. Like, it just made me not only respect the nickel position in general, but respect Michael Carter, because I feel like me and DJ, we do our thing, so that's we what people see from the outside looking in, but Michael Carter, like, what he do is not easy. He make it look easy. So, we always tilt our hat to Mike.
Aside from winning a Super Bowl, what are your personal goals for this season?
I said I won an MVP. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna happen. Not that I'm gonna doubt myself, but it's just reaching for the stars or something like that to just help other stuff fall in line. You know what I mean? So I always try to do stuff like that. You know?
Wait, do you think you're the best corner in the game?
On the game?
You think you're the best cornerback in football?
I mean, me personally, I would say that. I always think I'm the best at everything I do. You know what I mean? But like, I'm going into my second year. You know what I mean? So I can't really just say that because it's about what you do every week. It's about what you do every year. You know what I mean? So I can't say which cornerback I think is the best. Yeah, he's the best because because it's another year, and it's another year for all the cornerbacks to prove how good they are. You know what I mean? Right now, my favorite cornerback, DJ Reed. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, DJ Reed got to prove that he my favorite every day of practice. You know what I mean? Just seeing how he attacked the game. My best nickel in the league, Michael Carter. You know what I mean? But he got to prove that he my best nickel every day of practice, every week, every year. You know what I mean?
Your best reporter would be me.
I don't know for me, because somebody else might be doing it better than you the next day, so they'll get it the next day, you know?
Somebody else is. Trust me.
Your coach said you're the type of guy that always looks for the next mountain, the next challenge, and things like that. Have you always been like that? And why do you think you are like that?
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember. Like, I just remember when I was young, I used to want something specifically, and it wouldn't go that way. Probably because I was too small, or probably because of different things, you know what I mean? And when I was finally fortunate to achieve certain things, it was always like, all right, I used to get counted out for this. So now, like from this point moving forward, I don't only just want one thing. I want this, and that. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect, so I'm probably not going to achieve all the stuff that I want to achieve right then and there. But, I'm always going to have another opportunity.
So a few of your teammates have said that defense can beat the tops in the league. What is it going to take to get there?
Man, I feel like we have it. We have the men that we need. But it's definitely going to take, we just got to keep communicating, keep finding ways to get better, keep flying to the ball. You know what I mean? We put that on film a lot last year. But, this is my second year in the system, my second year being able to be around these guys, so it's only going to get better.
Nobody calls you Ahmad around here, right? Anymore? Or do they?
My cornerback coach do, for sure. I don't know. It's quite a few people who do.
Oh, really? Around
Yeah.
here? What has the last year been like? Sum up what it's been like being Sauce Gardner.
It's been great. You know what I mean? We're playing in New York. There's going to be a lot of attention, a lot of cameras, a lot of hype. But, it's just been a huge test for me that, I love getting tested. Being able to just showcase how humble I am. You know what I mean? Because, I like to stay grounded. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like it's just great to be able to play in the New York market, just be able to just showcase my talent and showcase me on and off the field.
What are your thoughts about Revis going into the Hall of Fame, and are you going to watch the ceremony?
Yeah, man, it was great. I just talked to him, I believe, last week. He had texted me. It was great, man. He was a guy that I was always watching. Right after I got drafted, Jared put us on the call. I was able to talk to him, get some tips from him. Just to see him, going to the Hall of Fame, that's just great motivation. That's a true blessing for him, and it's great for the Jets organization in general.
Is that something you dream about one day?
Oh yeah, most definitely. But me, I began with the end in mind, but at the end of the day, I just take it one step at a time.
Sauce, what's the biggest lesson you think you learned from your rookie season heading into year 2?
I don't know. That's good. I learned a lot of lessons. Probably whatever I do is not like me to me. It's not good enough. Coach Sala been talking about it lately. Our main emphasis been is like now what. If I did this, I did that. I got this award, got that. Now what? What am I gonna do next? You know what I mean? Just like when I'm on the field, if I do my job, now what? What else can I do to just help me get better and help me improve? So that's probably the main thing. Not getting satisfied, not being complacent. With the things that I've done.
Have you told Aaron Rodgers you want him to throw your way?
No, I haven't. I I know he gonna be doing it during training camp. I mean, I was just talking to him in the weight room. He's just a great guy to be around, extremely talented. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Did you tell him it didn't go that well when he tried it last year?
Nah, we don't really talk too much about last year. You know, here in New York now, you know, he came with that swag. I mean, that's all I could possibly ask for.
For you to be defensive MVP, what are you gonna have to do? How do you do that?
I just gotta do my job. You know, I can't try to be a superhero, try to do stuff that is not in my job description. Just be the best version of me. You know, if I'm the best version of myself, then I know I can get the job done.
Did you think you were the best version of you last year?
Yeah, I was the best version of myself last year, but, you know, I had a whole offseason to just work on getting better, work on making my weaknesses strengths, so it's going to be a whole different version of myself.
What weaknesses specifically?
Like I said, you know, I don't know if it's just like considered a weakness, but if I'm not perfect in something, then I consider it a weakness, you know what I mean? So that's why I said I worked on everything, press footwork, off mechanics, going to get the ball, lean and locate, you know, being more physical in the run game, block shit, and I worked on literally any and everything you could think of. So I guess all of those things was weaknesses.
You like your documentary?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Has Rogers asked you for your sauce yet?
Nah, he haven't, but I actually got a surprise for him that y'all probably gonna see. That y'all probably gonna see real soon. You know what I mean? I think he'll like it. It's probably not his style all the way, but I feel like it's gonna be good since he in New York now.
A surprise, a gift bottle?
Yeah, a gift. No, it's not no bottle, but it's a gift that I think, you know. Yeah, good cliffhanger. Can't give you too much.
Sauce related?
No, it ain't sauce related.
Oh.
Yeah, give y'all something to think about. It's not sauce related though at all.
Why do you have a gift for him?
Cause to welcome him to New York. You know what I mean? To welcome him to New York. You know. Yeah.
Steve Sharby.
Appreciate y'all.
So I guess what is that like? And you know, is it strange? Is it weird? Is it?
I mean, you see it with a couple different guys, right? Someone was talking about like Dwayne Brown, right? He's going year 18 or whatever. His I forgot who mentioned it, but Jeremy Ruckert's like 22. I think DB's daughter's like 19. So Jeremy was like, wow, it's crazy. So I mean, you hear things like that, right? You hear all the stuff like when you know Twitter's talking about LeBron James. You see him playing against people's kids and stuff. So yeah, it is crazy, and it's cool to be able to watch someone and see how someone that's made it that long goes through their daily life and things you can pick up on to extend your career.
What were you dealing with in the spring, Tyler, when you weren't practicing?
Oh, it was just minor stuff. It was just aches and whatnot. So.
Catch up now, kind of just trying to get like used to the offense and Aaron.
No, I mean the good thing was I was here being able to do installs the whole time, and I was part of everything. I just was trying to, you know, nurse a little bit of, you know, some aches here and there. So I don't really think it's catch up, right? The West Coast, we've been in kind of a similar West Coast offense for my time in Minnesota last year here. So the more football you play, the more football makes sense to you, and it's pretty easy to pick up on. But like we talked about earlier, with some of the nuances that we have, whether it's hots or, you know, changes at the line, like obviously those things are stuff we got to be patient about, but I don't think I'm playing catch up at all.
You tried to recruit Dalvin Cook here?
I don't know if I'm allowed, like, am I allowed to say I recruited? But no, I have. I mean, I talked to him a little bit. I was just curious. You hear all these rumors, and so I reached out to him and just asked, you know, what was going on, and he didn't really give me anything more than anybody else gets, right? I think it's between the couple of teams that we all think it's about, but we would love to have him.
Have you gone back and looked at film of tight ends who played with Rodgers in the past?
Yeah, I actually did a lot of that this year, whether it was Jermichael Finley, Tanyan. You know, it's unique because I think every tight end has a different skill set, right? And when you go back and watch it, like everybody did different stuff. Like when they had Jared Cook was split out a lot, running slants and glances and things like that. You know, Tanyan was a little more like move H-back type guy where there's swirls and corners and whatnot. And so I did a lot of that, especially not being able to play. I felt like that was a big part of my film study besides learning the offense, was just trying to pick up on what he saw, since I wasn't out there able to do it during OTAs. Like what did he see in his past and with his tight ends.
What's he like in the meeting room in terms of questioning guys what they're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps you on your toes, right? Because you can't just sit there and fall asleep or drift off. And it goes back to him trying to help us, you how should you, like, let's say you're running a basic, and he'll say, like, should you speed break this? Should you break down? And you give your answer. Whether you're right or wrong, he's going to explain to you, I think you should break down right here because we need spacing between this and this. And he just does a good job of helping everybody have a complete understanding of the offense.
Tomorrow the fans are going to be out here. Do you sense the enthusiasm as far as?
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday you had Jets chants. So I can only imagine what it'd be like tomorrow. The stands are double what they were last year, I feel like. So it'll be exciting.
What are the differences in the old system to the new system? Because I think a lot of people assume the LaFleur brothers, one in Green Bay, one here, Shanahan tree, LaFleur brothers, Nate Hackett kind of from the same background. So what is the difference?
I think every coach kind of has, just like all of us as people have our style of what we do, how we dress, how we, whatever we do in our day-to-day lives. Every coach is like that too, right? It could be the same base offense would have started with Bill Walsh or whoever started the whole West Coast system. The Shanahans and whatnot, but every coach picks up and has their things they love and their staples to their offense. So I think throughout the season, like in camp, we'll install everything. And as we get into games, we'll figure out what our bread and butter is and what we want to do in the run game and what we want to do in the pass game. And I think that our identity to keep being patient and kind of figuring out who we are and what we do best as a team.
Playing against Aaron for so long and watching him for so long, is he off the field? Is he the kind of guy that you expected him to be?
Yeah, it's always interesting with everybody, right? Because you don't want to judge a book by its cover, and I never really I try not to make assumptions of people, but and usually I am wrong when I do make an assumption. But I really don't know how to answer that. I mean, he's a great dude. I think right away from when the first time he got here, he makes his he makes the thing to sit at different tables, talk to different people, whether it's lunch, breakfast, dinner. And I think that's huge, especially for someone that's a Hall of Famer and been playing as long as him. You never know how a guy like that's going to be. They could be standoffish, they could be to themselves, they could be high energy. And I think he's exactly kind of what you would expect him to be.
Was there anything that surprised you about him, getting to know him?
No, I'm excited to see when things really get intense, just how he gets on the field, because I have heard he has a switch, so I'm excited to play with a competitor like him.
What was it like for you during the offseason following the whole thing? Is he coming here once he made the announcement that he wanted to come here, and then just waiting as a player and as a possible future teammate? What was that like for you?
I was happy when it was official because it was just nonstop, family, friends, everybody. Oh, is Aaron Rodgers coming? I'm like, guys, I know just as much as you guys know. I have no idea. So I was trying to get everybody to stop asking me if he was coming or not because that was annoying. So when he did decide, I was just happy it was all over and we could focus on, what the next step was. And I was obviously excited to play with somebody like him.
I'm sure you noticed the Jets picked the linebacker from the MAC conference, Zaire Barnes from Western Michigan.
Yeah.
You might face him, obviously, because he covers tight ends a lot. What do you think of him? And were those schools rivals?
Yeah, I love that he's from the MAC, especially because the MAC does, we don't get enough credit for, the players we produce. But we'll have a little beef because he's from Western Michigan, so because we are rivals. But it'd be fun going against him.
What's been your impression of the rookie tight end, Zach?
Yeah, Zach, he picks up on things fast. Obviously, we can all see he's a huge target. He moves really well. We haven't been doing it too long. So I think the big things is just, he learns really quick. He's good in meetings, and, he has all the potential in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
So what was it about the Jets that made this attractive situation for you?
Man, you see that D-line? We got some dogs on there. And, man, I was already familiar playing with a few players on there. And it's just about comfortability. And, from afar, I was watching that group, man. I just loved how they were getting after it, man. And I feel like there's a lot of players who are just like me, the same hunger, especially for rushing, knowledge of the game. And I just thought, man, if I add in there, I feel like the sky's the limit. They're already great. I said, I don't see us getting any worse. So I was just excited to get out there with a great group of guys.
And it seems like you have a lot of versatility too. You played on the end, you played on the inside too.
Yeah.
So how do you think you fit well within that D-line group?
Yeah, so far they just let me do what I do, play in the interior. And then again, if need be, I could play anywhere. We'll see what happens through the course of the season. You never know. But I don't even think I need to even go out there because we got some great guys on the edge. So it's like, man, it's going to be scary, because we just out there in waves and getting mismatched with different guys and different, we're going to be problems for a lot of people.
Did you know Al was going to be joining you when you signed here?
I had an inkling. Me and Al, that's my big brother, and we talk all the time. So we had an inkling. We were talking. We visit a lot of the same places, you know. But having him is just a blessing because that's like my comfort. Like since I was in Seattle, that's me and him literally are together all day, every day. Our families are close knit. You know, we're even living in the same apartment complex right now. So, I mean, that's big brother.
When people talk about this defense specifically with the line, a lot of it's about attack, just get up the field, get up the field. How freeing is that for a defensive lineman? I guess your focus isn't necessarily eating blocks, but just go get balls.
Oh man, it's very freeing, especially, you know, it's literally the opposite of where I came from last year in Seattle. But with that, there's still a lot of responsibility. You know, you got to be where you're supposed to be still and go make some plays, you know, and you're expected to make plays. So I know I got to kick it up another gear. And, you know, last year we were doing a lot of reading stuff. So, you know, literally I have to change my whole approach and whole mindset. So literally these past couple of days, it's been very, very intentional, you know, and just trying to just get back acclimated with just firing off and then let my athleticism take over. So it's been an experience, you know, again, because literally you have to change your whole mindset. But I'm excited, definitely excited, because I feel like it uses my ability to the maximum.
Did you play in this system when Pete had the old system? Wasn't this what they were doing?
It was similar, but some of the techniques were a little different, especially when I was in it. My first couple years, we still were doing a lot of like I still play like a 4-eye, or you might play a 6-eye, so it's still some techniques you're reading. When you're a 3, you can still get off the ball and stuff, but I still had some other responsibilities. So it was similar but still different at the same time.
I know it's only been a couple of practices, but what's been your impression of Quinton so far?
Oh man, great dude, and I'm enjoying playing with him. You know, I know I've been in the league 8 years, but I still always just like to pick guys' brains and talk to him. And he's very knowledgeable, and the biggest thing is he's just a great person. You know, a lot of energy, funny as hell, and I'm excited to play with him and be around him. Like he's a true pro and true Pro Bowler, and like I said, like I'm excited to be in the same room as him.
Being from Pennsylvania, how excited are you to get back to this part of the country? You also went to Maryland.
Yeah, it's super cool. You know, my parents came up literally every single week, and I've been in the past few weeks just getting acclimated and everything, moving in. So I'm just excited about that because, you know, I was all the way out the West Coast the last few years, and not a lot of my family want to make that trip. You know, I got to beg them to come out, but I'm like, they got no excuse now, so hopefully I have a lot of family come to games this year. Is that all? I appreciate y'all. Have a good one.